My 3-month-old son watched me win 5 gold medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics. He was wearing tiny red, white, and blue headphones to protect his ears from the crowd noise. And he slept through most of my races. But here's what makes that moment so powerful. Just 2 years earlier, I was sitting alone in my bedroom, drunk, arrested for my second DUI, suspended from USA swimming, and genuinely planning my suicide. I didn't want to be alive anymore. So how did I go from wanting to die to becoming a father, a husband, and returning to win 5 more gold medals at age 31, when most swimmers are already retired? Let me with Michael Phelps' incredible journey. We'd love to connect with our amazing Rise Stories community. Please take a moment to let us know in the comments. Which city or country are you watching? If you were in Michael Phelps' position, what would you have done? Don't forget to subscribe to Rise Stories and hit that notification bell so you never miss our heartwarming stories. Now, let's continue with Michael Phelps' incredible journey. I was born on June 30th, 1985 in Baltimore, Maryland. Michael Fred Phelps II, the youngest of 3 children. My mom, Debbie, was a middle school principal. My dad, Michael, was a retired Maryland State Trooper who had played football in high school and college. I had 2 older sisters, Whitney and Hillary. Both were swimmers. Whitney was especially good. She placed 6th in the 200 butterfly at the 1996 Olympic trials. But a back injury cut her career short. For me, everything started changing when I was 7. My parents got divorced. And as a kid, when I began to grasp that my dad would be away for a long time, I needed something that could grab my attention. But something else was happening too. I was terrible at school. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't stay quiet during quiet time. I wouldn't sit at circle time. I couldn't keep my hands to myself. I was giggling, laughing, and nudging other kids for attention. My teachers constantly complained, "Michael can't be quiet. Michael can't focus. Michael can't stay still." When I was 9, in 6th grade, I was diagnosed with ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. A teacher told my mom, "Your son will never be able to focus on anything." You see, I was that kid, the class clown, the awkward kid with big ears, skinny, with arms that hung below his knees. Kids made fun of me. They bullied me. I was alone. And what did my mom do? She took me to swimming. My sisters were already swimming at the North Baltimore Aquatic Club. Maybe this will help him channel his energy, she thought. You know what happened my first day in the pool? Did I turn into a dolphin? No. I hated it. I was screaming, kicking, throwing fits. I threw my goggles. I didn't want to put my face in the water. But my mom was persistent. And with practice, I slowly started getting comfortable. And I discovered something incredible. When I was in the water, my mind slowed down. My ADHD brain that couldn't sit still in class, couldn't focus on math homework, went quiet underwater. The black line at the bottom of the pool gave me something to focus on. The chaos stopped. I found peace. Once I figured out how to swim, I felt so free, I wrote years later. I could go fast in the pool, it turned out, because being in the pool slowed down my mind. By the time I was 10, I broke a national record in the 100-meter butterfly for my age group. People started noticing me, especially a man named Bob Bowman. In 1996, when I was 11, Bob Bowman came to the North Baltimore Aquatic Club. He was coaching on his way to veterinary school. He was actually planning to quit coaching. 2 Olympic hopefuls had left him before the 1996 Atlanta Games. But the club manager, Murray Stevens, offered him $30,000 to coach for 1 more season. That's when he ran into me. Bob saw my potential from day one. He told my family, "I expect him to be at the Olympic trials in 2000. In 2004, he makes the Olympics. 2012 will be his peak." My mom was skeptical. "Mr. Bowman, you're crazy," she said. "I have an 11-year-old boy who runs all over the place, who wants to play every sport in the world." But Bob was determined, and he was very tough on me. Training with Bob was like working with a drill sergeant. He was disciplined. He was systematic. He was ruthless. Bob and I didn't seem like a good match at all, I remember. I was the goofball. He was the taskmaster. We butted heads constantly. I threw water bottles at him. I cursed at him in front of the team. But he never backed down. And that's what I needed. Because as someone with ADHD, I needed structure and discipline. I also needed someone who would push me, challenge my limits. Bob made me train every day, every single day, Saturdays and Sundays included. We didn't celebrate Christmas until we went to the pool. If everyone else trains 5 days a week and I train 7 days, look how much further ahead I am of everybody else, I'd think. And it worked. At 15, I made it to the 2000 Sydney Olympics. I was the youngest American male swimmer to compete in the Games in almost 70 years. I didn't win a medal. I lost the 200-meter butterfly by less than half a second. I wanted to come home with hardware, I said. But the defeat immediately jumped back into training. Because that's all I knew. Swim, win, repeat. I compartmentalized those feelings. I didn't deal with them. And guess what happened? Over time, they came back. Whenever they wanted. And they tore me apart until I learned how to cope with them. The 2008 Beijing Olympics came. I won 8 gold medals in a single Olympics. The most gold medals in history. I had become a legend. A god. People called me the Michael Jordan of swimming. And a few weeks after winning, a photo of me smoking marijuana from a bong surfaced. People thought I was celebrating. Actually, I was self-medicating. It would be just me self-medicating myself, basically daily, to try to fix whatever it was that I was trying to run from, I said years later. 2012 London came. 4 more golds, 2 silvers, 22 total Olympic medals. The most successful Olympian in history. And then I retired. I don't want to be in the sport anymore. I don't want to be alive anymore, I told myself. That's when everything collapsed. In the fall of 2012 and into 2014, I lived through my all-time low. I sat alone in my bedroom for 3 to 5 days at a time. I didn't eat. I barely slept. I just didn't want to exist. I looked suicide in the eye, I said years later. That was my all-time low. In 2004, I was arrested for DUI for the first time. I was 19. A mistake, I thought. But in September 2014, a few months after my 30th birthday, it happened again. Second DUI. Second arrest. USA Swimming suspended me for 6 months. And my family, my coach Bob, they were all worried. When Bob called me, I sounded terrible. Barely coherent, he said. I texted my mom and Bob, "This is the most scared I have ever felt." Because I knew change was coming. And I was terrified of change. I was shaking at the thought of sharing my emotions with strangers, but I had no other choice. Either I was going to get help, or I was going to die. On October 5th, 2014, I checked myself into a treatment center in Arizona called The Meadows, a place for trauma and addiction treatment. I stayed for 45 days. The first morning, a nurse woke me at 6 a.m. and asked me to describe how I was feeling. Nobody had ever asked me that before. I was very good at compartmentalizing things and stuffing things away that I didn't want to talk about, I didn't want to deal with, I didn't want to bring up, I said. I just never, ever wanted to see those things. But at the Meadows, for the first time, I had to talk about my feelings, about my ADHD, about my depression, about my complicated relationship with my dad, about my complicated relationship with Bob. And something incredible happened. When I started talking, life became easy. I wish I had learned this 10 years ago, I said later. After I left the treatment center, I continued therapy every week. I still do, and it saved my life. If I hadn't allowed myself to become vulnerable, I don't know if I'd be here today, I said. We need to give things a chance. But here's the thing, I wasn't alone during treatment, because I had someone in my life, Nicole Johnson. I met Nicole in 2007 on the ESPY's red carpet. She was working for ESPN. She was stunningly beautiful. She would go on to win Miss California USA 2010. But what impressed me wasn't her beauty. It was that she was the only person who truly saw me. We started dating in 2009, but it wasn't easy. We broke up in 2011. Then we broke up again in 2012 before London. But in 2014, during my darkest moment, I came back to her. And she was there, without judgment, without trying to fix me. Just there. For 15 years, Nicole has seen me go up and down, I said in 2022. There's no other person that would be able to support me like she has. She's the glue that holds all of us together. And then, in May 2016, something happened that changed everything. Our son was born. Boomer Robert Phelps. May 5th, 2016. When I held him for the first time, I cried. Because for the first time, I understood what it felt like to live for something bigger than myself. In 2014, I wanted to die. In 2016, I'm a father, was skeptical, but he agreed, and we worked. But it was different, more fluid, less stressful. First silver, 28 total medals. We're a family of 6, a house full of boys, and every day I'm accountable to my family. I need to be here for them. But let me tell you, I don't want to get out of bed. My kids know this. Sometimes they see me leave the room because I'm overwhelmed and my emotions are firing on all cylinders and I can't think straight. But now, I know what to do. I go to therapy. I talk as well. Fighting any roommates in your head? We text each other. Asking for help is not weakness. Therapy saves lives. Mental illness is real, and we deal with it every day. But we don't have to stay in silence. Those moments and those feelings and those emotions for me are light years better than winning the Olympic gold medal, I said. Because my family, Nicole, my kids, they've given me more than any medal ever could. They've given me a reason to be here. This is my story. From the 9-year-old ADHD kid whose teacher said he'd never amount to anything, to the man who won 28 Olympic medals. From the depressed athlete who contemplated suicide to the happy father of 4. But most importantly, from silent to speaking. I've had at least 6 major depressive episodes in my life. At least. And every time, I stayed silent. I buried it all inside, and it almost killed me. But then I learned to talk, to ask for help, to be vulnerable. And that's when everything changed. Now let me tell you something. If you're struggling right now with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, whatever it is, you're not alone. You can ask for help. And it doesn't make you weaker. It makes you stronger. You can only get help if you ask for it, I said in an interview. And that saved my life. Gold medals are great. Records are great. But you know what's greater? Waking up every morning and being grateful to be alive. Having breakfast with your kids. Having dinner with your wife. The little moments in life. Because here's the thing. Success doesn't fix you. Fame doesn't heal you. Gold medals don't silence the voice in your head. But talking, asking for help, being vulnerable, those things can save you. In 2024, my fourth son, Nico, was born. I'm 39 now. I'm retired from swimming. But I'm not retired from life. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And every day, I'm grateful to be alive. I am extremely thankful that I did not take my life, I said in 2018. I want others to know it's okay to not be okay. So, what's your story? Maybe you're struggling too. Maybe you're living with ADHD. Maybe you're battling depression. Maybe you've thought about suicide. But know this, you're not alone. You can ask for help, and your life is worth saving. Because my life was worth saving, and so is yours.